I hate this place. I'll just say that now. Spoiler.
It sure is quiet here.
Such silence bodes ill. There's trouble on the way. I'm certain of it.
You know, a little optimism now and then wouldn't hurt, Vice.
Such cheek.
I do have such a cheek.
Beware the words.
The words? What do you mean?
Contagious words. Those who dream.
Those who dream?
Hold a moment. There is a strange new sensation in my mind.
Vice's voice rose in a quizzical way.
It is not quizzical.
What's going on?
The villager's body shudders as he slowly opens his
Perhaps
eyes.
we should start by asking this man.
Who are you?
We heard something happened to this village, so we came to see if we could help.
The mayor stared at Nier and
If you can
Vice.
speak to me, I must have caught you in my dream.
In your dream?
The mayor explained. In the past week, a mysterious disease called the Death Dream has spread across the forest of myth. Those who caught it were cursed to fall asleep and live forever within the world of their own dreams. The village mayor has determined the Death Dream was spread from person to person by spoken words, but before he could learn more, the disease took him as well. Vice stared at the mayor, his mouth twitched
Now
slightly.
see here. Are you saying that we have been absorbed into your dream?
Well, yes.
Said the
I
mayor.
think you have.
In other words,
Said Nier.
we've caught the death dream?
Before the mayor could confirm Nier's suspicions, Vice exploded with rage.
Ridiculous, preposterous, completely unfathomable on every conceivable level. I don't even recall falling asleep.
That's just how the death dream works.
Though polite, the mayor was clearly trying to brush aside
My
the book's
remarks
remarks.
are not to be brushed aside, fool.
The mayor twisted in his mouth into an embarrassing grimace, then quickly changed the subject to who Nier has seen and what they had discussed since coming to the village,
Something there must have caused you to enter my dream.
said the mayor.
A certain conversation, a specific word, something.
Nier and Vice racked their brain, but could find no easy solution. There were simply too many words to consider, too much random chatter, too many meaningless
Grimoire
conversations.
Vice does not engage in meaningless conversations.
The mere suggestion that Vice chose his words carelessly seems to sting his pride.
It does not seem to sting my pride, you bloated gasbag of a narrator. It has demolished it utterly.
Irritated, Vice looks up skyward, as if searching for answers in the
I
heavens.
was doing no such thing. Just leave me alone already.
The anger created by his harsh words bled over to Nier like a contagion. Wait, said Nier suddenly, did someone just say contagion? Yes, I believe so, what of it? Well, the villager told us to watch out for contagious words, right? The mayor leaned forward with renewed interest, pushing a startled Vice aside in the process. He must have said something, right? Said the mayor. Some specific combination of words? What was it? It was about dreaming or something that dreams, or oh, what the hell was it? A sheep? Cried Vice, suddenly blurting out the first thing that popped into his head. The others stared at him for a moment before slowly shaking their heads. After a few more minutes of thought, Nier's face suddenly lit up. I remember, he said. Those who dream. That's what he said. I'm sure of it. At this, the mayor produced a thick sheaf of papers from his pocket. He flipped through them a few times before finally nodding his approval at Nier. That sounds right, he said, as a stray sheet of papers fluttered to the ground. My notes also mentioned something about that I bet it was the last thing you heard before you fell asleep. The mayor shook his head, his worn pencil stub tracing lines across the lone piece of paper. For the last month, I've done nothing but study the disease we call the death dream, he said. I mean, I'm the mayor, right? It's my job to protect people from whatever comes along. But I never expected a couple of outsiders to start entering people's dreams. The mayor paused, a grimace crossing his face. I should probably be taking notes or something. Vice immediately fired back. I applaud the force of will to take the research a disease in your dreams, he said, but perhaps we should bend your efforts to escaping this place instead of trying to understand it. The mayor's hand tightened around his pencil, snapping off the tip. I've tried to escape. From the very first moment I realized I was locked inside my own dream, I've been looking for a way out, but I don't think that it exists. I mean, this is my dream, right? If there was an exit, I'd know about it. He paused for a moment, his unfocused eyes staring at nothing. My village was beautiful, he said, to no one in particular, and it was filled with the most wonderful people you could have ever hoped to meet. But once this disease took hold, things changed. It's like someone took a sponge and soaked all the color out of our lives. I just want us to be whole again. I want us to be free, and I won't stop trying until it happens. Nier nodded in agreement. Huh? Well, wait a sec. I didn't nod. Look, if we can be of any help, said Nier, just ask. Now hold on, I did not just say that. Silence, cried Vice. The grimoire looked from Nier to the mayor and back again, his face filled with confidence. Grimoire Vice's face is always confident, thank you very much. Now see here, Mayor, you told us nothing can exist in this dream without your knowing of it. But yet you seemed surprised to see us when we first arrived, yes? The mayor slowly raised his head, realization dawning on his face. Oh my god, he said, you're right! I had no idea you were coming. The human imagination is a limitless engine, said Vice. And dreams are the fuel. If you can imagine an exit, then that must be so. With your permission, we shall search it out. Thank you, said the mayor. I don't know how I can repay you. Payment is not required. We are as eager as you to be done with this place. The mayor suddenly felt as if he could breathe again. He'd almost forgotten what it was like. Good luck, you two, he called at the departing forms of Nier and Vice. We're all counting on you. As Nier slowly faded into the misty forest, the mayor was struck by a sense of deja vu. I saw this man once before, he thought, but where? Nier's mood darkened as he trudged through the forest. Hours earlier, when the beauty of the place was still a new thing, he'd been confident that he could get in, find the exit, and be home in time for dinner. But the deeper they went, the more the forest closed in around him. The mist made it difficult to see more than a foot in any direction, and moss-covered rocks seemed determined to twist his ankle. More than once he'd been forced to steady himself on the rough bark of a tree, and his hands now left small trails of blood on everything he touched. Additionally, Vice was proving to be spectacularly poor traveling companion. Unhindered by either terrain or physical effort, he spent most of his time urging Nier to pick up the pace and grumbling about their slow progress. Finally, after Vice muttered something about legless turtles being more adept at navigating the environment, Nier snapped. Okay, Vice, cram it for a sec, would you? You don't have to walk. You don't have to walk. Nier leaned against the tree and tried to stretch the knots from his back. How can this stupid forest be so big, he muttered to himself. The moment the words tumbled from his mouth, a cacophony of insects sprang to life. Every imaginable form of buzz, click, and hiss roared out at a volume that rattled his teeth. Nier slapped his hand over his ears and screamed to be heard. Vice, what's going on? Nier could see Vice's mouth moving, but he might as well have been shouting in a tornado. Wait, Vice's mouth moves? He's a book. The insect screamed, the forest howled. And then, just as Nier's ears seemed ready to tear from his head and go running for cover, the sound diminished. Hesitantly, he removed the hand from his left ear and listened to the creatures of the woods. Shake, 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 shake. I don't know how to make noises. Ooh, ma, ooh, ma. This is too hard. Shake, 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 shake. I tried. I tried. As the insect symphony dimmed another decibel, Nier began to detect patterns in the sound. This isn't random, he thought. This is not just white noise, it's something else. The insects weren't calling out, they were asking a question. One with it is lacking, 2 with it is ideal, 3 with it is dangerous. What is it? By my pages, is this a riddle? I guess so, but I mean it feels sort of forced. But maybe it's a key to getting out of this place. Then I leave you to answer. 1 with it is lacking, 2 with it is ideal, 3 with it is dangerous. What is it? I assume it's a secret. Yeah, why would a seesaw? The answer is a secret. Inwardly furious that Vice left the task to him, Nier sighed and gave the only answer that made sense. It's a secret. Right? The sound of the insect stopped and as suddenly as it began. The forest undergrowth parted before Nier like a rippling wave, opening a new path. These forests arthropods are making a road for us, said Vice with glee. Pleased at passing the test, Nier moved on with new intensity. The path offered his body relief from the undergrowth, but gave even greater cheer to his mind. As long as they were on the path, their journey had a purpose. I guess the forest has accepted us, huh? Said Nier after a bit. Vice spun around to face his companion. Do not mistake the will of this forest for some happy pet you can suddenly befriend. We have no idea where this path leads. As Vice finished speaking, the pair turned a corner and found themselves facing a clear forest spring. Smiling, Nier picked up a small rock and sent it skipping across the surface of the water. Good heavens, said Vice. His surprise was understandable. Each time the rock struck the surface of the water, a musical note rang out. When the rock finally stopped moving and sank to the bottom of the spring, the ripples it left behind came together to form words. I enter through the window, but break no glass. When night falls, I vanish. What am I? Absurdly easy, barked Vice. Now answer it. Nier gritted his teeth, tried not to reach out and strangle his companion. He's right after all, this one is pretty easy. I enter through the windows, but break no glass. When night falls, I vanish. What am I? Sunlight. A plume of water suddenly burst from the spring. Sunlight filtered through the trees and reflected off the plume, creating a shimmering rainbow that spanned the entire horizon. In all my years, said Vice softly, I have never seen such a sight. Perhaps I have misunderstood the intentions of this place. Hey look! Cried Nier, awaking Vice from his daze. There's a house or something over there. Glancing in the direction of his friend's extended hand, Vice saw a small cottage nestled among the trees. That's weird, isn't it, Vice? I mean, who would build a house all the way out here? Nier walked over and pounded on the door. After a minute of solid bang, the door cracked open and a small man peered out. His body was cloaked from neck to toe in a large black cape, while his face was obscured by the mist. Began Nier, but before he could get any further, the cloaked man held a hand up and began speaking. I have 4 legs in the morning and 2 at noon, but end the night with 3. What am I? Nier tried to ask the cloaked man who he was and what he was doing there, but he simply repeated the question. If we wish to engage this man in conversation, said Vice, it seems we must answer his riddle. Yes, I suppose, said Nier. Well, at least it's an easy one. I have 4 legs in the morning and 2 at noon. End with the night with 3. What am I? Is it a man? 4 legs in the morning, 2 at noon, but end the night with 3. I'm just gonna say it, man, because I don't think any of these make sense. The mist dissolved from the cloaked figure as he spoke a single word. Correct. Oh, good. But why? With that, the man flung his garment aside, revealing his true identity. Why? Right. Let's see. In the morning, you're in bed, so there's 4 legs of a bed. And at noon, of course, you're walking. But why 3? I was thinking maybe when you're sitting on your butt, and 2 feet, maybe? I don't know. You're the mayor, cried Nier. The small man slowly shook his head. I am not the mayor you know. Now listen to my words. Long ago I saw a version of you that was not yourself. Sorry? What does that mean? It will make sense in time. At present, I simply congratulate you on cracking the seal of the Death Dream. Now you must go to the person at the forest entrance. With that, the man turned on his heel and slammed the door behind him. As Nier watched, mist seeped up from the ground and enveloped the cottage, erasing it from existence. When Nier and Weiss returned to the forest entrance, they found the mayor leaning against a tree. As soon as he caught sight of the duo, he sprang to his feet and scrambled over to them. Good gravy, he called. You made it! You actually made it back! His left hand grasped Nier's and pumped it so fiercely it threatened to dislodge from the socket, while his right seized Weiss by the cover and swung him through the air. God by the heavens, stop shaking me, fool! We have not even told you if we were successful or not. The mayor smiled broadly and shook his head. I'm just happy you're alive. I didn't think I'd ever see you again. Nier withdrew him from the mayor's eager handshake with a slight smile. We broke the Death Dream seal, he said. At least I think we did. The mayor's face beamed as Nier filled him in on the details. When the tale was done, the 3 of them lay down on the forest ground and fell asleep. Nier cocked his head. Okay, hang on a sec. This is crazy. Why would we lay down just to go to sleep? Cease your endless prattle and go to sleep, fool. Fighting against the rules of this place is futility itself. Nier and the mayor obediently reclined atop the grassy earth. Have you forgotten, continued Weiss? This is words that control the Death Dream, words that allow us to move from place to place. No matter how unnatural they seem, the words are absolute. Therefore, if the words tell us to sleep, then sleep we shall. And once we do, the story will continue. With that, the trio found their eyes growing heavy, their breath slowing. This is the first time, began the mayor. The first time I have felt tired since I was imprisoned here. His words were cut off by a loud yawn as he remembered nothing more. They might have slept for an hour or a year. When they awoke, things had a slightly more real quality to them. The mist felt thicker, the leaves greener. It was clear that they had awakened from their dream. Nier shook the mayor's shoulders gently. Good news, he said. I think we made it. Oh wow, said the mayor in an odd voice. We did. I'm back. He blinked once and then again, as if not quite believing the sight before him. You two have no idea how much this means. The Death Dream was spreading through our village and I wanted to, well, I thought I could figure out how to stop it, but I guess that wasn't the case. I must have caught the disease and become trapped in my own dream. The mayor started to stand and collapsed back to the earth. He stared at his legs, as if trying to remember how they work, then glanced at Nier and shrugged. Without a word, the young man reached down and pulled the mayor to his feet. Real life may take some getting used to, said the mayor, as a wry smile crossed his lips. You shall relearn in short order, I am sure, said Weiss. For now, you should return to your home and rest. No, said the mayor, swaying on his steady feet. unsteady feet. No, I cannot. Some of the villagers are still trapped in the death dream. I have to save them. The mayor slowly made his way to the divine tree in the center of the village, then bowed his head and prayed silently. This is a holy tree, he explained. When the prayer was finished, it's the guardian of our village's history and memories. Superstition will only make our mission harder, murmured Vice. We should not put our faith in the gods. The mayor shook his head. Not the gods, the words. Legend says that our tree is home to a powerful magic known as a sealed verse. Nier and Vice could not contain their surprise. It seemed the goal had been found in the most unexpected of places. I say, murmured Vice, this is certainly a stroke of luck. As the three of them said their goodbyes, Nier mentioned the strange man who had given them the third riddle and the mysterious words he had left them with. I once saw a version of you that was not yourself, murmured the mayor. Oh, hold on, let me reread that. I once saw a vision of you that was not yourself, murmured the mayor. What in the world does that mean? Lost in thought, he stared into space for a long time. You know, he said softly, this is going to sound odd, but I had a feeling I'd seen you before too. Nier tried to keep a straight face and failed, but the mayor didn't seem to notice. Deja vu, right? Anyway, I figured it's just some kind of illusion created by the death dream. It probably doesn't mean anything. Nier gave the mayor a nod and a smile, but inwardly thoughts were racing. There's something wrong about the mayor and his words. And what exactly is going on here? That riddle would prove to be the most difficult one of all.
Oh, thank you so much. Now I can finally return to a normal life.
This is one of the most bizarre diseases I have ever encountered.
I know. That's why we have to help the other villagers, no matter what.
Ooh, Dark Execution.
For a sealed verse, that didn't take much effort.
That took a lot of effort. I don't usually ever read out loud.
Yes, all a touch too easy if you ask me.
Shut up, Vice.
It's almost as if someone was guiding us to this village.
The game.
Don't overthink advice.
What is there, like 3 more of those? Oh. I have energy to read at least 1 more of those. Okay, 2 more. Okay. Mentally preparing myself to read.